Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to retweet David Hogg, who of course was one of the Parkland survivors, has gone on to be a huge gun control advocate. But he sent out a tweet this week basically telling any foreigners, you don't want to come to America, you're not safe, your kids are not safe because of all the guns we have. And of course, the recent massive spike in mass shootings is pretty much proof of that. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene saw this, and she retweeted it and added this comment to it. I agree completely about foreign citizens staying home. That's why I have an immigration moratorium in my border bill. We finally agree on something, David. She agrees with foreigners staying home. Now, David had said, foreigners, you probably don't want to come here because you're not safe. You could get shot for no reason whatsoever, literally anywhere you go. Because nowhere is safe. This week we saw mass shootings at friggin' funerals. Ironically, a funeral of a man who was shot by a police officer. So a funeral because of gun violence that was marred by more gun violence. And Marjorie Taylor Greene used this as an opportunity to be a massive bigot. Because David is trying to protect foreign immigrants. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants them out because she doesn't like who they are as people. Here's the irony, and I pointed this out on Twitter. You see, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a representative from the state of Georgia, as we all know. Were you aware, because I did a lot of digging here, were you aware that 13% of Georgia's workforce is made up of immigrants? 13% of the people who have jobs in the state of Georgia are immigrants. Some legal, some not. But they're employed because the economy depends on it. A little further digging reveals that a lot of people in the state of Georgia, a lot of media, newspapers, and even some politicians, they're not calling for what Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling for. They don't want a moratorium on immigration. Do you know what they want? They want more immigrants. They need them. It's not just want them, they need them, they say. Because there are apparently thousands and thousands and thousands of job openings in the state of Georgia and not enough people to fill them. So while Marjorie Taylor Greene is using her bigotry to try to stop people from coming into this country, her own state is saying, for the love of God, give us people because we can't meet labor demands. Which of course means that companies can't meet demands of the customers. The economy is suffering, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is using her bigotry to try to make it worse. Interesting story, by the way, from just a few years ago. Actually, at this point, it's probably 10 years ago. State of Georgia did institute a rather aggressive anti-immigration law. They also cracked down on illegal immigrants being hired by companies and farms in the state of Georgia. So do you know what happened after they got rid of most of the immigrants? They couldn't find people to fill jobs. Farms had their crops literally rotting in the fields because there was nobody to do it. They couldn't find anybody locally. They couldn't find, white Georgians willing to take these jobs. So they had to bring all the immigrants back in to save their economy. So Georgia's already tried and failed with Marjorie Taylor Greene's plan here. But she doesn't care. She lived in Georgia through that, by the way. She knows what her own plan would do to her own state's economy. She just doesn't care because she's so filled with hatred that she would rather tank her state's economy than let another brown person into this country. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.